This is The Confidence Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. In The Confidence Show, we're talking about confidence, happiness, success, purpose, and achieving your goals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And remember, the truth is inside you. Yeah. What up? What's popping? What's good? Is inside you. You have tuned into The Confidence Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. What's good, bro? What's going on?
Oh, chilling, man. How you been, man? You know, just out here being confident, doing my thing, man. How you feel, man? What's going on?
I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just we out here getting it in, you know, on some confident shit. How we got to do it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to April in the building. Shout out to Theo C. Jr. in the building.
Right.
Remember, guys, you can watch all the Confidence Show episodes on patreon.com/The Confidence Show. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, damn, up here burping and fucking about to kill myself and shit. You know,
Mario.
It's crazy. So, you know, yeah, man. So today we're talking about how you need to choose your battles wisely. You feel what I'm saying? Choose your battles wisely. You feel what I mean? And what do we mean by that? What do we mean by choosing your battles wisely, right? That means that, you know, whenever you're, you know, encountering some sort of conflict or you're thinking about doing a certain thing or making a certain move, when it is, you know, especially when it comes to something that could be seen as like friction, conflict, negativity, whatever it is, you have to choose whether or not you want to engage in that situation.
Right.
And some battles, it makes sense to engage in, some battles it doesn't. You feel what I'm saying? Some things make sense to address, some things don't. You understand? Some things, if you know, start certain things, right, that could make other things be fucked up by you starting some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to choose your battles wisely. And what made me think about this topic was because of, you know, all of the, I've been seeing a lot of stuff going on, you know, in the quote unquote manosphere. You feel what I'm saying?
A lot of shots have been fired in these YouTube streets.
Exactly. So there's a lot of shots have been fired out here. And what happens is that when people don't know how to choose their battles wisely, right, it could end up having consequences that you don't want to end up having. You understand what I'm saying? Because the thing is this, is that you can't take away an experience. You understand? That happened. Meaning that let's say, for example, I say, yo, fuck this guy or fuck that guy, and I, you know, and this and that, right? And then because I said that, then that guy is like, you know what? Fuck Locario. I'm gonna go and fucking kill his whole family. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I can't, you know, I can't control what this guy's gonna do.
Right.
Like, I have no idea what he's gonna do.
You can't control anyone's response.
Right. You can't control the response. So a lot of times it's best to not be the person just starting shit in the first place, because a lot of times, you know, you might just say things like, oh, well, I'm going to say something, and then, you know, they'll just whatever. Right. But you don't know what this person's going to do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's best not to just start anything. So this is why I say, what you want to do first is just focus on your shit. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on your life. Focus on the goals you have. Focus on you, so you're not really getting into no nonsense. But let's say you're focusing on yourself, and let's say somebody does start some shit with you or whatever, or says something or does something or whatever. Now you have to think about what is the situation. You know. And how should I respond to the situation, or should I even respond to the situation? Is it something that needs a response? Is it something that I can ignore? Is it something that I have to address? These are things you have to ask yourself. So, for example, if you're in a situation where, let's say, somebody's talking shit about you, you know, online, or somebody's talking shit about you behind your back, right? You may not need to even address that. You could just ignore that. But if somebody's up in your face trying to fight you and pushing you and trying to swing at you, then you're going to have to, you know, fight this motherfucker and fuck that nigga up. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, one situation you can ignore it. The other one, you can't really ignore that. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So you gotta understand the situation you're in, and you have to understand what's the appropriate response. And what's interesting is I was on Clubhouse with Eddie Fuse the other day. We actually talked about this because, and I want to get your input on this, Miles. So he was saying that I think Suge Knight and one of Suge Knight's friends used to go to like bars and clubs or whatever, and they would like tap a woman on her ass, like, you know, like give her a smack on the ass or whatever, right? And the girl would be with a dude. So then if the dude said something or whatever, then Suge Knight would punch him in the face. You understand what I'm saying? So
wait, what?
So like, let's say you with your girl, the guy slaps your girl in the ass,
right?
And then Suge Knight is there because the guy was there with Suge Knight. That was his boy. So then I guess if you say something like, yo, what the fuck are you touching my girl ass for? Then Suge will punch you in the face, right?
Damn.
So the question was, what would you do if you was chilling with your girl and a dude just came and slapped her ass? So what would be your response? You know what I mean? And then so, and he feels his
response would be?
Yeah, what would your response be?
Well, that actually happened to me before. One time I was in Vegas and we was at a party,
right?
And this guy, he was kind of drunk.
Mm.
And all right, you have to understand that I was looking at the entire scenario.
Right. That's another thing.
Because first of all, they had some brolic ass bouncers, and it was a very like well organized party. You understand? Mm. And I was like, me, my girl, and a couple of other people were like the only black people in the spot.
Right.
You understand? And this drunk white dude, he came up and pinched my girl's ass twice.
Right.
Because at first it was like a little like she didn't really know what was going on, and I didn't know. Okay, it was like a crowded party.
Right.
Second time he did it, and it was very like blatant. Like he did it, and I even saw him do it.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, that's the dude right there. He grabbing my ass. Now I like a part of me wanted to just duff him out, like punch him in the face and start a fight and shit. Right. But I was like, fuck, like if I do that, these bouncers are gonna come get me. It's gonna be a problem. We definitely getting kicked out of this bitch. Like it's gonna be a problem. Right. So what I did was I ran up behind him and I grabbed his ass and I squeezed it as hard as I fucking could. This drunk ass white boy turned around and looked at me. His eyes were so fucking wide.
Mm-hmm.
He was so surprised and like surprised and flabbergasted or whatever you want to call it. And the nigga ran to the other side of the party. And we never saw him for the rest of the night. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like I handled the situation the best way I knew how in that particular situation. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, if I had started a fight, who knows? I might have went to jail that night.
Right.
Because it's Vegas. I'm at a party with a bunch of white folks. Only black people in the spot. Next thing you know, I did more than they said I did more than I really did, or I knocked over a chandelier, or this nigga falls and hit his head and gets a concussion, and all of a sudden I'm the aggressor. You understand? So I did what I was supposed to. I felt what I was supposed to do, where I can, protect my girl, defend her honor, and send a message to this dude that don't touch my fucking girl, I'll kick your ass.
Right.
And got him out of there. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
That's how I handled that situation. You know what I'm saying? But Suge Knight punching niggas in the face for no reason. God damn.
And it's funny because, we was in that group and I was saying, I always like to diffuse shit
right
without violence before it has to get the violence. You know what I'm saying? Because I would rather do it that way because of, like you said, the consequence that comes with it getting to that violence. Now, if violence occurs just automatically, then it is what it is, and we got to go down. It got to go down. Right. But the thing is, with the whole thing is, it's about choosing your battles wisely. And you said something very, very important is that you said you looked at the entire situation. You understand what I'm saying? Because one, also, the dude, you got to take into account too that the dude was drunk.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Man, I was taking all that into consideration, all of it.
You got to take all of it into consideration because even when you're talking about choosing your battles and doing certain things, right? You got to look at it from all different angles. Now, again, some people have the idea of, I don't give a fuck. If that happened, that nigga getting fucked up. And that's your choice to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Other niggas is like, yo, I'm gonna say some shit to this nigga, and then if it escalate, then we're gonna have to do some. That's like my style. You understand what I'm saying? Miles, he's like, fuck, I'm gonna grab this nigga in his ass and do the same thing he did to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so people, they're gonna handle conflict differently. But the thing is that you still got to be able to be wise in whatever your action is, because you have to think about, because I think what happens is that when you don't think and just go off of emotion,
right,
you can make a lot of mistakes.
Facts.
Because now you start acting and then you think about what you did after you acted.
Right. Cause then you be like, yo, man, I could have done this. Yo,
right.
man, I could have talked to him. Yo, I could have said something. You know what I'm saying? Or I could have just watched him. And if he came close to my girl, I could have just, stopped him in his tracks or what. You know what I'm saying? You think of a whole bunch of shit. And it's like, that's what, when you're sitting in a jail cell, that's when you think of everything you could have or should have done.
Right. And Thomas Blake said, this is what I struggle with. I'm not a fighter. And it's not, and it's interesting too, because see, I'm not, you know, when you watch a movie and the guy who's like the hero in the movie, who tries not to fight because he knows that if he does, he's gonna like he doesn't want anyone to know that he'll fuck niggas up. But then they put him in a situation where he fuck niggas up. That's me. You understand what I'm saying? Like that. Like, I don't. And so I try my best to not be in them situations because I don't want to have to turn into that dude. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm on some Incredible Hulk shit. Like you wouldn't like me when I'm angry type shit. Because I have a lot of, since I'm so cool, I have a lot of pent up anger. You know what I'm saying? And there's an angry nigga inside of me like, yo, let me out, son. Come on, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, nah, chill, nigga, like chill. So that's why I'll be like, I'll be trying my best not to be in them situations. And also choosing your battles wisely too is also about, making sure that you're doing your due diligence beforehand, meaning that sometimes you may want to make sure that you're not in certain situations, because being in those situations might cause conflict and might cause a situation where you're going to have to battle. You understand what I'm saying? So like, you ever be in a party, or like somebody invites you someplace and you say, nah, I ain't going to that spot because I know if I go in there, something might jump off. You understand what I'm saying? So you're like, I'm not even going to go. I'm not even going to be in this environment. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a chance something might happen to where I might have to, you understand, do something. Like, even I remember I was at an event and there was a chick there, and the chick comes through and she was flirting with me or whatever. So her friend comes through, it was this white dude, right? And he was, obviously in the friend zone, right? But the girl, he's flirting with me. So then the girl, like, he came in and he just said what up to me real quick. But it was like, what those quick what's up, like they don't want to talk to you type shit, like a little nod and just like kind of look away, whatever. So, right, exactly, one of them, yeah. So I'm talking to the chick and we going back and forth, flirting with her, whatever. And then she goes to the bathroom. So I'm standing next to the dude. So because he's standing next to her. And so she's between me and him, and she's just talking to me. She's like, oh, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom, whatever. She goes to the bathroom. She walks off. This nigga comes to my face talking about, yo, I don't like the way you talking to my friend, yo. I don't appreciate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I looked at the dude and I said, bro, I'm gonna need like 5 feet. Yeah. That's all I said. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need like 5 feet, bro. And he's like, yo, I'm just saying. I said, bro, I'm gonna need you to back up. You know? And then he backed up.
Right.
And then that was it. And then she, like, as soon as I said that, she came back. And then I was talking to her for a little bit. I said, let me get your number, blah, blah, exchange numbers. I just walked away. And I said, let me get as far away from this nigga as possible.
Because I'm going to have to murder this nigga.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. So I'm like, it's like, you got to be able to say, look, and imagine if we started fighting, right? And again, like you was in a situation where you was out there, was a bunch of white folks, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to look funny, me beating this white boy's ass. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the spot I go to a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't want to be, again, I'm assessing the situation. I don't want to get kicked out of a spot I go to a lot and have to get into this conflict. You see what I'm saying? When I can just try to find a way to mediate the situation, you understand? And then fall back. So it's like, I'm choosing in that situation to dissipate the situation if I can, and then fall back. Now, if you would have just came out and hit me or some shit, then we're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? I got to defend myself. It is what it is. But the thing is, you gotta make sure that in each of these situations, you're really thinking about what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? You got to think about that shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And it all goes back to it goes back to confidence, right? And I'm explaining what I mean. So, it's a confidence show. We talk about confidence. So, and we talk about battles, right? And sometimes, or a lot of times, when we are faced with confrontation, our ego has a propensity to want to be right or to win.
Right, exactly. Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Your ego always has a propensity or a tendency to want to be right or to win the battle or the argument or whatever it is.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes it takes more confidence to like we were talking about, to assess the situation and realize that even winning the battle doesn't benefit us.
Right, exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Winning the battle in this particular situation doesn't actually benefit me because I've assessed the entirety of the situation, and winning the battle only puts me in a worse light.
Right, exactly.
You understand? Or winning the battle only like makes me look like more of an egotistical asshole that's looking for validation. You understand that sometimes that can actually work against you.
Right. Especially in the long run too, a lot of times,
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like we've said this before, that Jay-Z line, like, don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who's who.
Right.
You're sitting there arguing with a fool and you're trying to prove something to an idiot. Like,
right.
You're an intelligent person with confidence and game. And you on a Bad Boy membership, you listen to the Confidence Show all the time. And your game and your intelligence level is far outseeding the person that you're arguing with.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So what does it benefit you to actually win an argument with a fucking idiot?
Right.
You understand? So you have to really look at the situation and be like, you know what? This is one of them situations where my confidence already let me know that I won.
Right. Exactly.
I actually win by not even competing.
Exactly. Fact.
Because these are things that you have to address, because again, even that situation with me in Vegas with my girl and everything, I could have went off and fought that dude, but then people would have been like, bro, he's just a drunk white boy, man. He didn't know what he was doing, bro. Right. Why'd you have to punch him in his face and break his jaw, bro? Like you went too far, man. Come on, man. What are you trying to prove? You know what I'm saying? And it would have just looked like I'm over here trying to prove something to my girl or to my friends, or you understand what I'm saying? And that's not actually winning.
Right.
And like I said, I felt like I won that situation because my girl saw everything. And when I squeezed his ass and he turned around and looked at me and ran off, like my girl was laughing at him. And she felt protected and vindicated. Like she felt justified. Like, yo, we'll never see that nigga for the rest of the night. Right. Safe that she would never have to deal with that again.
Right.
You understand? And so I felt like I got back at the dude.
Right.
I protected and justified my chick's honor. And I diffused the whole situation altogether with one gesture. Right. And I had my opposition running away in fear. Right. You know what I'm saying? Without having to get violent. And so I after assessing the situation, I didn't battle with him, but what I did was I found like a precise response that was able to give me the reaction that I needed, that was able to give me the outcome that I desired, that made everybody happy and sent my opposition running. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. So you have to be very intelligent. You have to have confidence to know that it's not always about winning, and it's not always about being correct or being right. Right. You have a lot of times where people treat life like it's a debate contest. You understand what I'm saying? It's sometimes the argument is not even worth it. Like when they say sometimes the juice ain't even worth the squeeze. Right. Sometimes the argument itself is not worth it. Like why am I arguing? I don't fucking listen. I don't read comic books. Why am I arguing with you about if Wolverine is stronger than Superman? Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why would I sit there and fucking argue with you about something like that when I don't give a fuck about none of that shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, so you have to you have to know what you're dealing with. Some people, they want to be right so they can validate their ego, and that's not about confidence. That's not what confidence is about. Confidence is about knowing who you are, and when you know who you are, you know more about which battles actually mean something to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So when it means something to you, that's when you're willing to like put in the work to actually win the battle, because it actually means something to your identity. Maybe you're trying to clear your name. Maybe you're trying to get to something important. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Certain things are more important than others, man. So you can't be going after every battle. You can't be
right, because you gotta look at the context and what it is. Because like if somebody says, "Yo," let's say they say to you, "Oh, you're a pedophile," you're gonna be like, you're not gonna just sit there and let that slide. You're gonna be like, no. I gotta address this. We gotta. This has to be addressed. This ain't some shit I'm gonna just let you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and especially if it's been like a thing where people, they kept saying that they was like harping on it. You gotta be like, nah. Listen, I gotta respond to this. So these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that you'll address. There's certain things that you'll give light to, but then there's certain things where you can just really let slide and not give any attention, because there's people that on YouTube who's made videos and dissed me about it. Like, oh, Mr. Lucario's this, Mr. Lucario's that. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna respond to this. Like this is nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Like This person is nobody. You feel what I'm saying? They're just talking shit because they talk shit. And that's that. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's no reason to go back and forth. There's no reason to address them, because also you got to understand something. Sometimes addressing those people, what you're doing is you're giving them energy and validity. You're making them valid by giving them attention, because as soon as you're responding to them, you're making it seem as if what they're saying has some weight or has some validity or or has some sort of like substance. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, when you ignore the person, all they're doing is they're talking to themselves. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So then what happens is a lot of times, especially if that person keeps talking about you and you don't say anything, they start to look stupid.
Right. And they start to look like they're obsessed with someone.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So that's the key thing, is that if a person's not directly in your face, if a person's not causing you any physical harm and they're just talking shit or whatever, and they're over there on the internet or they're, whatever, sometimes just let them be, especially if they're not saying anything super disparaging and crazy. Like, again, if a motherfucker is spreading rumors around that you kill babies or some shit, that's one thing. But if a person's like, oh, I don't like that nigga because I don't like his face. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to fucking go through the goddamn motions and go back and forth with this motherfucker.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. And see, what happens is that when you do that, you're wasting a lot of energy going back and forth doing that. And then at the end of it all, you don't really get anything out of it. I've never seen anyone actually get anything out of going back and forth with somebody about some bullshit. Like, I've never seen it. Like, I've never seen the fucking like the benefits of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even if, let's say, for example, like YouTube motherfuckers going back and forth with each other, all that happens is that at the moment, people be paying attention to it at the moment, but it doesn't necessarily equate to anything substantial, meaning like, you're not really like, whoever liked this person or liked that person going to still like that person or like this person and still fuck with them. Whoever wasn't fucking with them, they ain't gonna fuck with them. You understand what I'm saying? You're not making any, like, you're not selling a product, so you're not making any money off of product sales, because ain't nobody, 90% of the people that's tuning in, they just tuning in for the beef. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like there's nothing substantial. And then once it dies down, everybody done forgot about it, and all that happened was you got a few more YouTube views and you just drained yourself of energy.
Facts.
So then what the fuck is the point? You understand what I'm saying? There's no point.
None at all. I got an article here from Forbes.com, and they said how to pick your battle. So the first thing they say, that is it your battle to fight? Now here they talk about sometimes you'll pick up a battle that's really another person's battle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Meaning like somebody else other than you. But how I want to angle this phrase, or is this your battle to fight, is going back to what I was talking about before, is knowing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing who you are, meaning that, and that's why I talk about ego, because you have to understand something about ego. Ego can be a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Ego could be a dishonest version of who you think you are or who you should be.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you're the type of person that you drive, let's just say you drive a luxury car and you make six figures, but you're afraid of the dark.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Most people would think that if you out here making six figures and you drive a luxury car, that you're swaggy, you're this, you're that. Like the last thing they would ever think is that you're afraid of the dark.
Right.
You understand? Just as an example, but you're actually afraid of the dark.
Right.
But you're looking at your ego and who people think you are, and you're like, well, I'm a sports car driving, six figure making, jet setting ass nigga, and I'm swaggy like that.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, you're just a simple schoolboy who's afraid of the dark.
Right.
So you got to really get in touch with who you are, really. That's why, there's therapy and certain other things, but that's why physical things and ego doesn't really make you who you are. So that's why getting in touch with who you are makes the most sense when you're trying to pick your battles, because some battles are for your ego.
Right.
And some battles are really for you, the real person.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Right. So it's like, so you got to, for example, like you said, if somebody running around spreading rumors about you being a pedophile or some crazy shit like that, it's like, nah, bro, you attacking my character now. Like we gotta. Exactly. But if somebody talking about, oh, I don't like the way he be wearing glasses all the goddamn time. What's wrong with him? He trying to hide his eyes or you understand? It's like, well, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you think about my glasses. I wear them because I want to.
Right.
But it's not a battle that I'm gonna engage. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Engage the other battle that actually assassinates my character. I'm gonna have to really clear my name on that one. You see what I'm saying? But that has more to do with who I truly am as opposed to an image of me.
Right.
Because sometimes people will attack the image of you, and then you feel like, oh, let me address this, or let me address the haters. It's like niggas, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, exactly. The question is this your battle? Meaning you. Who are you? The actual person that we're talking about, not the image or the ego that's associated, with your name. And then so the next one is, what difference will winning this battle make in the long term? And that's something you mentioned before.
Right.
Like, in the long term, does it really help you? You understand? Like you said, you could be beefing back and forth with another YouTube creator or just another person. And let's just say you having a fight at the job. Or remember back in high school or school, you used to have we gonna fight at 3:00.
Right.
Niggas would fucking line up in the fucking schoolyard waiting for shit to go down. You understand?
Right.
It's the same philosophy of even, like professional boxing matches today. Like, just there for the spectacle.
Right.
And but what is the long-term effect of you fighting somebody?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, shit, maybe that motherfucker might hit you in the head and give you a concussion that'll give you brain damage for years to come. Like, you don't know. Like,
or what if you hit a nigga? This is a big fear of mine.
Yeah.
The nigga hit his head on something and fucking die.
Exactly.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I be like, yo, that's why I try to diffuse this shit first.
Right.
If I uppercut this nigga, you know what I'm saying? And then what's the shit they said in the Mobb Deep song? He said, hit you in the head, stab your brain with your nose bone or some shit. You understand?
Right.
You could do some crazy shit like that to a motherfucker.
Right.
And you could be like, oh, my bad. Nah, nigga, you going down for manslaughter. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
like the story where the guy was in front of the club and they fought, and the dude fell and hit his head on the side of the sidewalk.
Right.
You understand? And he had brain hemorrhaging or some type of internal bleeding in his head or his brain, and the motherfucker died that night. You understand? Right. And then the dude that he fought with went to jail for like 7 years or life or some shit.
That's what I'm saying.
For manslaughter or murder in the first degree or whatever it was. So you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. Another one. Another one is what happens if you lose this battle, which is another important thing, right? Because like we said before, you can't tell the other person how to respond.
Right.
You can't necessarily assume because you could be like, oh, I'm gonna get into it with this nigga, and so I'm gonna talk about his mother.
Right.
And then you figure, well, what's the most he gonna do? He probably just gonna talk about my mother.
Right.
You understand? But you don't know that his mother died of cancer and he's still grieving about it, and you don't know his personal life, and he's a fucking member of the NRA, and he carries a gun with him at all times. Yo, tell your mama to suck my dick, bitch.
Right.
Like, oh, you want to talk about my mama? He pulls out a gun and shoots you in the fucking face, and you're like, oh man, like I thought you were just gonna, snap on my mother like how I snapped on your mother, but nah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that goes for all shit starters and shit talkers. This is what I'm saying. You don't know, bro. And this is what you got to understand. You don't know, because see, there's people who do shit like right now, and then there's people who kill you slowly. You understand what I'm saying? Because people who don't forget what you did. Right. So you done moved on, and the nigga is still plotting on you. You understand what I'm saying? He's dripping it real slow, and then one day it's gonna hit you and be like, oh shit, what the fuck? You understand what I'm saying? And that all stems from the shit you done said 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with this shit. Because remember, listen, karma is real. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. I've seen that shit like for real, where it's like you do some shit and sometimes it might not happen now, and it might not even be from the person, but it could be something else that's gonna come right back and bite you in the ass.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is YouTuber, I ain't gonna say his punk ass name, but he stole some of my shit, right? And now he was some MGTOW nigga. Now he doing all like he think he a dating coach or something, whatever. But this nigga was stealing my shit. Then he stole my shit, was talking shit about me, right? And then these other guys who have a big platform did some videos making fun of his videos because he was on that super crazy red pill shit. So they was making fun of his videos, calling him a loser and how he don't really know what he's talking about. He just, some bullshit.
Right.
So nigga was getting mad at those niggas and telling them to take it down and, oh, that's copyright. And then was going to his channel, the punk ass nigga channel, and was commenting on his videos, and then he turned off all the comments and shit, and he's running and hiding and scared and all that other shit. So now that's karma for his bitch ass doing what he was doing when he was fucking with me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't even say nothing to him, after all of that. Right. But what happened is that because of what he did, the shit came right back around to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is for all you shit starters. You'll start shit and something is gonna come back to you. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why you got to fall back, because the thing is you think you can say all this shit and be in a vacuum, and then what's gonna happen is somebody gonna come through and it's gonna be a fucking rap, and you're gonna be like, God damn.
Because Twitter fingers can turn to trigger fingers.
Facts. Exactly. Exactly.
Ooh. And then the last thing they said in the Forbes.com article, it says, if you don't fight this battle, regardless of whether you win it or lose it, will you be able to live with yourself afterwards?
That's some real shit.
And that's some real character shit. That's some real. It said, let me see. I'm gonna just read what it says. It seems interesting. It says, this is the killer question because your conscience should play a key role in determining the battles that you choose to contest. There is nothing laudable about running away from a battle that you know in your heart needs to be fought, right? Even if it upsets your boss, even if it makes you unpopular with your peers, even if even if you are a potential whistleblower and the battle you are preparing to fight could bring down your business. At the end of the day, you need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and believe that you made the decision that seemed genuinely right at the time. You will only achieve that by asking this very important question. You understand? So, I mean, you have to understand that every time you get into any type of confrontation or contest, there are things to gain and there are things that can also be lost. Right. So you have to choose these things very wisely. You have to realize what And again, this is what I was talking about in the beginning. Like, you have to realize what's important to you as a person, as a man, as a, you know, as a business person. Because, you know, this is, you know, they talk about whistleblowers and bosses and business and whatever. Because this is Forbes.com. So they're looking at it from a business standpoint, obviously. Yeah. But this goes for life in general, man. Like, you have to understand you have to look at who you are and then figure out what really means something to you, and have the confidence to you know, have the confidence to be true to that. Because like I said here, it says, you know, it can make you unpopular with your peers. Mm-hmm. It can bring down your business. It can, you know, it can upset your boss, meaning it can upset someone in a higher position than you. Right. Actually can affect things in your life. Mm-hmm. You know? And so at the end of the day, you still have to be able to, you know who you are deep down and say to yourself, look, I fought that was a character, that was like a morality and value battle for me. Right. And that wasn't just an ego thing where I was just trying to be right for the sake of being right. Like, right. That motherfucker was attacking my character, or he was talking about my family, and my family is important to me, or he was disrespecting my honor. You understand? Mm-hmm. Or he was, you know, calling my name out of context, and certain things are important to a person where it doesn't matter what it is, you will not let it slide. Right. And those are the things that you should focus on, because those are the things that are closest to who you are as a person. Right. And because if you let that shit slide, then that's you not being you. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, and there are other times where, listen, that shit don't even have nothing to do with who I really am at heart. So you can talk your shit, say whatever you want. I'll let you have that one. You understand? Right. And you can keep it moving, live your life, and continue, like I said, maintaining confidence, because a lot of times you know who you are. So you don't have to get your hands dirty in every single conflict or confrontation that comes your way. Right. Now that's facts. And see, especially when, and the thing is, you want to get to a point where, and I think this is like the most beneficial and way that's going to give you more peace of mind, is when people are talking shit, because there's times where you're going to have to defend yourself in a physical confrontation and you have no choice but to defend yourself unless you want to just stand there and get your ass kicked. You understand? Right. But if it's just people talking shit or people saying things or whatever, right, you know, about you, you want to get to the point where you're able to, you know, just freely be immune to all the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? To where even if someone says something crazy about you, you just like, you don't let it affect you emotionally. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, you don't start feeling a certain type of way, and that's a certain level of freedom that most people don't get to. You understand what I'm saying? Because this reminds me of a story, and I'll wrap up with this. Yeah. I was listening to Anthony DeMello. He talked about this story of this woman who got pregnant in this village, and then so all the people in the village was like, yo, you know, who got you pregnant? You understand what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, it's the priest guy down in the valley or whatever, right? So all the people ran to the priest guy. It was like, yo, you got this girl pregnant, and she had the baby, and you have to take care of this baby because it's yours. So the priest guy said, okay, cool. And so he just took the baby, right? And then he handed off the baby to some other lady in the village, and take care of the baby or whatever, right? So then next, you know, the girl goes back to the village, and then a few days later, she says, oh, you know, I got a confession to make. I was lying. It wasn't the priest guy. It was the guy around the corner. So then all the people ran to the priest guy, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. We said that about you, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, we could take back the baby. He was like, all right, cool. Here's the baby, right? So basically the moral of the story is that the priest guy took whatever came his way, and he didn't blink an eye. He's like, whatever. You understand? You can say I did this, I'll take it. You can say I didn't do this, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. You understand what I'm saying? It's no matter to me. Like, I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna stress myself or put myself out there and give all this energy to shit that people are just saying. People are gonna always talk and say what they want to say and do what they want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So in that regard, if you could get to that place where you're just like, whatever, say whatever the fuck you want to say, and you don't feel the need to respond and need to say what, you know what I mean? And, you know, and I gotta say, because nah, we good. Just say what you want to say. I'm gonna just keep doing what I do. Right.
I mean,
And looking at that story, that is a place of supreme confidence.
right, exactly.
You're not worried about anything. Oh yeah, oh the baby's mine. Hey, cool. Like,
right.
I don't remember fucking this bitch, but hey, whatever.
Right. Like, here, take it, go over there, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that comes at a certain level of confidence and awareness. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's like, because I'm telling you, when you do shit, people are never gonna. There's people that's always gonna talk shit about you. People that's not gonna like you. People that's gonna say this about you, say that about you. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? That's why. What was that Eminem song? He was like, "I am whatever you say I am." You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
And I wasn't. Yep.
Like fuck it, whatever. You know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Have fun watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kansas City's gonna win. I called it.
Son. I'm going with the OG on this one, man. Big about to win. Brady all the way.
Man, that's crazy. But yo, man, we appreciate y'all.
Remind them that this is going to be taken down.
Yeah, guys. Remember, this is going to be taken down. So if you want to watch more Confidence Show episodes, go to patreon.com/The Confidence Show. You see the thing right there that April wrote in the chat. Patreon.com/The Confidence Show. That's on the screen right there. If you want to watch more Confidence Show episodes, make sure you guys go there. Okay. So appreciate y'all tuning in, and we holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.